says you right. Chat, text box. Rich, M. M. MRSAJRKSAJRKY is sleeping in a bed. MRS, 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 MRS. Rich, MRS, Rich, Rich, MRS, Rich, MRSAJRKS, Rich Flash 13 says Star Fox. Rich, MRSAJRKSAJRKY it be lie in bed water bed for a month. Rich Flash 13 says why Fox. Rich Flash, MRSAJRKSAJRKY it be lie in bed water bed for a month. Rich Flash, MRSAJRKSAJRKY says it's a game. MRSAJRKSAJRKY it bedrock. Rich Flash 13 you right. Rich Flash 13 Star Fox. Rich Flash 13 Y Fox. MRSAJRKS, MRSAJRKSAJRKY says Star Fox. Rich Flash 13 says underscore obviously this is a gum. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says the do a barrel roll meme. Rich Flash 13 chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY the do a barrel roll meme. 5, 6, 4. Team has changed to lion skin. Pause screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says why it literally messy everywhere we go. Rich Flash 13 says have you ever seen him get mad? MRSAJRKSAJRKY says no. Pause. Chat screen. MRSAJ. Rich Flash 13 have you ever seen him get mad? MRSAJRKSAJRKY no. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says actually wait yes. MRSAJRKSAJRKY it be lie in bed water bed for a month. Rich Flash 13 says what did he you? MRSAJRKSAJRKY says that when I organized his chest. Rich Flash 13 says oh. Rich Flash 13 says XD. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says it's so bright. Rich Flash 13 says yay. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 has changed to lion skin. MRSAJRKSA. Rich Flash 13 says so much bamboo. MRSAJRKSAJRKY it be lie in bed water bed for a month. Rich Flash 13 says MRSAJRKSAJRKY says what? Rich Flash 13 says he's going for a swim. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says where? Rich Flash 13 says up the ladder into pool. Rich Flash 13 says minus 70 to 73. Rich Flash 13 says minus 70 to 73 minus 251. Rich Flash 13 says Wulion. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says this huge. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY this huge. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY be lie in bed water bed for a month. Rich Flash 13 says I declare this Earth 54. MRSAJRKSAJRKY be lie in bed what? MRSAJRKSAJRKY says lol. Rich Flash 13 says XD. Rich Flash 13 I declare this Earth 54. MRS. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 this place is huge. Rich Flash 13 says a huge mess. Rich Flash 13 says he leaving. MRSAJR 64 6 leave bed. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says sleeping with master carrot carrot. Boop boop. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 says chat. MRSAJRKSAJRKY sleeping with master carrot carrot. Rich Flash 13 says him a mean one. MRS boop. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY. Rich Flash 13 says K. Rich boop. Leave bed button. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says master said he let me see the sunlight. Boop. Boop. Chat screen. Chat settings. Bot. Open. Leave bed. Button. Rich Flash 13 says I got you pajamas line. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says and if him a really good girl he take off the chains. Carrot carrot. Rich Flash 13 says right XD. Boop boop. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says equal. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 right XD. 64 60 64. Rich Flash 13 says I have all line pajamas. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says O underscore O. 63. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRK. Rich Flash 13 says lol. MRSAJ. Fifth. Chat screen. MRSAJ. Rich Flash 13 says lol. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says he met. screen. Ridge Flash 13 says it. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says equals. Ridge Flash 13 says talk to me line. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says PLSSS. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says forgive him. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY forgive him. Ridge Flash 13 says he keep check chest. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says I think he have a heart attack if I do pajamas, underscore. Chat screen. Ridge Flash 13 says XD. MRSAJRKSAJRKY I think he have a heart attack if I do pajamas, underscore. Chat screen. Ridge Flash 13 says line. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says master going to be rough now. Chat screen. MRSAJRK. Ridge Flash 13 says like me. Ridge Flash. Ridge Flash 13 says XD. Chat screen. Ridge Flash 13 says lol. Ridge Flash 13 says what now? MRSAJRKSAJRKY says PLSS Master, you will get me pregnant again. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says XC. Rich Flash 13 says, is he talking to you, Shark? MRSAJRKSAJRKY says no. Pause. Chat. Fifth. Chat screen. MRSAJRKSAJRKY no. Rich Flash 13. Rich MRSA. Rich Flash 13 says better line. Rich Flash 13 says I want to redesign his maze. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says he will DDoS you. Rich Flash 13 says he said that. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says don't bro, he will literally kill you. Rich Flash 13 says XD. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 says Angry Monkey friended me. Mad Monkey 214 has changed to Dust and L isn't tail fidget skin. MRSAJRKSAJRKY says who? Mad Monkey 214 has changed to Siamese cat skin. Chat screen. Rich Flash 13 says I mean Mad Monkey. Rich MRSAJRKSAJRKY says why. Rich Flash 13 says IDK bot I. Pause screen. Permissions. Xmo2 ham 7 etc. Button. Chat screen. Chat. Xmo2 ham 7 etc. joined the game. Rich Flash 13 says what if I wreck this torch party? Xmo2 ham 7 etc. says I will not be you. Pause screen. Permission. On. 63. 64. 51.